This is Elijah Price from the film Unbreakable, and he's the collector of comic books and comic book prints. Elijah put a bomb on a plane, killing 172 people. No one survived. He helps the main character, David Dunn, understand he is a superhero. Elijah burned down a hotel that didn't have fire escapes on the first, second, and third floors, killing 211. No one survived. With Elijah explaining David's feats through his accident in the train crash and a car crash. Elijah derailed a train. 131 people killed, 1 survivor. Elijah, when he's talking to David, sees him as an equal. Earlier in the film, we see him talking to someone the same way as David. Yet, when he finds out that one of his prints he was going to sell to the man was going to be a gift to a child, he switches and starts talking down to him, asking if his collection is a toy store. Then David and his son walks in. He talks to him in a semi-pissed off but professional tone, telling them to leave. But when he realizes it's David, he goes into a spree of questioning, asking David if he's ever been hurt, and explains to David that due to his sickness, his body is as brittle as glass, and he thought maybe there's someone where their bones don't break and they don't get sick. And when he's saying all of this, Elijah has a look of happiness when he's looking at David, seeing he is the opposite of him. We don't really get the thoughts of Elijah, yet when we do, it's when he's first talking to David. We see him explain his thought that someone is unbreakable. He goes through the scientific method of finding someone that is unbreakable by using Newton's third law of action and reaction. So he thinks he is as breakable as glass, so someone must be as unbreakable as metal. Yet over time, he can't find anyone unbreakable in the public news. So he goes and finds someone unbreakable through any means, even if that means killing hundreds of people, so he can prove to himself and the world someone is unbreakable. Elijah's effect on others is usually negative, with him having one good effect, which was David, which was showing him he does have powers, but the way that he found David was not very good, through the killings of hundreds. But if David didn't get on that train, there would still be hundreds of people getting killed, if not thousands, until he found David, making more and more grieve for the deaths of the people Elijah killed. Elijah is an insane megalomaniac, with him trying to put his information of comic books into the real world. When he isn't proven correct, through waiting and letting time show him he is correct, he takes finding the unbreakable into his own hands, through bombing a Boeing 737, setting a hotel on fire, and derailing a train. And when he finds out that David could tell if someone did something bad by touching them, he ever so slightly backs up whenever David's not looking, in order not to actually bump into him and show what he's done. And to prove even more that he's not a threat, he starts talking about superheroes that can tell when someone is evil. When Elijah leaves, he sees the man that David was talking about having a vision that he had a gun on him. Elijah starts to follow him and sees that he went down the stairs. Goes to follow him even longer, he falls down said stairs, breaking his bones. But it was to prove that David was correct. The man did have a gun. At the end of the film, Elijah and David shake hands, with Elijah making David think it's him saying good job for his first heroic act. But it's Elijah showing that he is the one that did all those things. He derailed the train. When David is having visions of Elijah, they are gray, with Elijah being outlined or wearing purple. When people look at purple, they have an idea of what the color means with color theory, having a feeling that the person is powerful, commonly put with royalty or something just as powerful. And with Elijah rarely seen without a suit or something similar on, he is seen as powerful. Mixing in with his height of 6'2", he is easily able to intimidate anyone shorter than him, like the man that was going to buy the print from him. In conclusion, Elijah is a very broken person, literally and mentally, due to his insanity and also being a megalomaniac. That was proven right through his acts of terrorism and the killing of 524 people. The reason why he did this is to prove to the world that people with super abilities are real, with him thinking the effect on this would be a positive one, so he goes to find them through any means. The viewer of the movie will not be incorrect in calling Elijah an anti-villain, in which he wants to find a positive outcome of finding supers, yet he does not care on how his goal, be it waiting for years for the news to tell him about it, or him killing anyone that might help find his goal.